This is the ONE+ 18-volt, 800-watt max, 12-volt automotive power inverter with dual USB ports. What an unfortunate naming convention from Ryobi on this one. That's the name of the product. Note that they don't use the word power source. Strange. It gets stranger though. In this review, I'm going to go over all the things, show you it in action, test the full 800 watts, and let you know what I think. Buckle up. Yeah, I'm also going to take it apart. Let's just start with some pros and cons. Pro, 120 volt AC output, and it's got 2 outlets. That's nice. Pro, it's got a 12 volt cigarette lighter socket. Is it still called a cigarette lighter socket? Pro, 20 watt USB-C power delivery port. Conish pro. Pro-ish con? The USB-C port is output only. Con, you cannot charge an 18 volt battery with this inverter. I don't know if that's actually a con. Pro, regular USB sockets. Guess what? They haven't broken or stopped working on me like they did with the power source. I've been using them a lot. Yeah, these are still working. Pro, the price. This is obviously my opinion, but $150 is decent for what you get. Yeah. Pro, 800 watts of power, which come with an enormous asterisk I'll go over after the pros and cons. But con, the max power output continuous for the AC outlets is 600 watts. Pro, it has decent cooling built in. There's these fans, and they really start moving air when the inverter is outputting at its higher rate, so that's good. Not just a wimpy fan. Con, operating temperature is maxed out at 104 degrees Fahrenheit, according to the manual. So don't expect using this thing in the desert unless you're in an air-conditioned space. Con, 300 watts max when using the Ryobi batteries. I don't know, is this a con? I mean, it's not bad. With their largest battery being the 9 amp hour battery, you can pull twice the battery's capacity and kill it in a half hour. So maybe 300 watts is a pro? What do you think? Pro, the 12 volt cigarette lighter outlet gives you like full power, so 120 watts, 10 amps. So it's not like a weak socket. Pro, it comes with cables and these clip things. So you can mount the inverter to a flat surface. Pro, it's portable. Duh. Pro, it's got a screen and you can see how much power it's outputting or what the battery voltage is. And the screen's backlit for a few seconds when you toggle it. Pro. Con, the power button. You have to hold it down to turn the inverter off or on. This is a con because it made me feel dumb because it wasn't turning on right away when I first bought the thing. I thought it was broken. I was like, why isn't it turning on? But you got to hold it down. That could just be me though. Pro, it has a light. You can see it. Here it is. Yep. Compared to having no light, that's good. Pro, it's got a handle. Pro, it's a decent size. And it's fairly lightweight, but like sturdy feeling, you know? Yeah. Pro, it will stay on until the battery is dead, all the way dead. No matter what you're using it or not. And I call that a pro because I've got one of these. Ooh. Which I'm working on a review on, so stick around. This Ego inverter turns itself off after 2 hours if you're not pulling at least 20 watts or something like that. It's just weird. Con, you cannot swap the batteries out while keeping the inverter powered. In my opinion, the biggest pro and con are these. The biggest pro, you can use your 18 volt batteries. Yes, please. If you're like me, perhaps you have some of these batteries. And the biggest con is that the AC power is the modified sine wave kind, which can actually beat up sensitive electronics. That's it. You did it. You survived the PC list. Now it's time to put it to the test. Can it output 800 watts? Yes, sort of. And so in the manual, it clearly states AC output is either 650 watts for 30 minutes or 600 watts continuous. So yeah, it doesn't output 800 watts of just AC power. How do they get the 800 watts? So 650 watts AC for 30 minutes, and then 120 watts from cigarette lighter, 20 watts from the power delivery USB-C, 12 watts from the regular USB ports, and then that's it. That brings you to 802 watts. So I guess 800 watts is okay to state on the case and all the marketing, I guess? I don't know. Just looking at it, I would say, yeah, just plug in your AC outlets and you can pull 800 watts, right? But that statement would be wrong. What would you do to make the label on the inverter be more precise? Or are you okay with the box, the title online, and the inverter itself saying 800 watts without having an asterisk, like saying, but only 650 for AC? Like, I don't, it's tough. You can see I've got all these things plugged into it, and it plugged into my DIY 12 volt battery, which has this Bluetooth connection, so we can see what the battery management system is doing. So yeah, I can see power flow there. Okay, with that, is it good or is it bad? You decide after I decide. I already kind of told you. Overall, I think it's good. It's worth buying. I used it a lot since I bought it because I got a bunch of these batteries lying around. And I've repeatedly charged tablets and phones. And Nintendo Switch charges that pretty decent. Yeah, with the power delivery port. One weird thing I would call, not a pro or a con, is that the power button stays illuminated when the inverter's on. So if you're camping and have this thing running a fan or something, and you're trying to sleep, you'll have this relatively bright light to deal with. Not that big of a deal, but it seems normal with many battery-powered inverters. They just got some sort of like a status light or something on all the time. Okay, and the weirdest thing about the inverter is more like sociologically derived in its weirdness. For instance, do you go to Home Depot on occasion and look at the tools? And if you do you ever see Ryobi tools? Yeah? Oh, you do? Or you don't. If you don't, this isn't going to make much sense. Because if you do, for the last several months, when I stop by Home Depot and look around, you can't find this thing anywhere. Like, why is that? This is one of the coolest things they have, I think. Because if you're going to have the batteries, like, what? Portable power? Yes. Yeah. Duh. But it's not there. It's not near the tools. Every time I go. You got to go to the automotive section, and there it is, with all the inverters. And I get it. It's an inverter. It should go with inverters, sure. But it likely should also go with the tools and the batteries, don't you think? Do you think? I don't even know if that's what I'm doing. Am I thinking? God, did you know this thing existed? Like, you know Ryobi's stuff? Did you know this was there? Gosh, I just looked online, and now it looks like they've got a 1,000-watt version as well for $50 more. Huh, jeez. Let's take this beast apart. Don't really know what to make of much of this. "12-volt input from vehicle's cigarette outlet. There's 3 40-amp fuses there and a 1 here. That's interesting. And I'm just pointing around with a pencil, not knowing what to do. Oh yeah, look at that. This is where the go. Got the chuck set on super light, so strip nothing crazy. That's not the on button. All right, what do you think? I hope that helped. See you later, Internet.